I don't know. We are live. We are live, guys. Sorry about the delay. We had some like huge technical difficulties in the background. We could not get Silverback Guns and Ammunition to come on. We'll have to work that out later and have them come back on at a different time. This is episode 203 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. I hope you got your big girl panties on.
What happened to jazz hands, man?
Yeah, there you go. Jazz hands. Jazz hands. Come on, Joe. Jazz hands. Walter's keeping us in line.
We didn't even call anybody out last night either.
Call people out about what?
Well, you know how you give a shout out to everybody.
Oh yeah. We didn't do
we went right into the meat last night.
Yeah.
Well, Chuck Woolery on.
I know we had special guests and all that. So
yeah. So we had special guests, and I thought that Chuck Woolery would just hang up on us if we took half an hour to shout out everyone in the chat.
He never does anything 2 hours, man. He doesn't do the marathon show.
Yeah, he never does that. He never does that. So we were pretty fortunate to have him come on last night and hang out with us for the full 2 hours. I think you guys got like 2 hours and 5 minutes or something out of it.
2 hours of Chuck.
Yeah, if you have not seen it, go enjoy it. I'm making some snippets out of it, and I'm going to put that up in different places and share it out with folks because I think we went over a lot of good stuff last night. So, but, let me try to like stay somewhat organized in this one. We've got 13C Joe jumping in here. What's up, Joe? What's going on, man?
Good to see you, man. It was a great show last night. For everybody watching, if you missed last night, go back and check out. That was 202, right? Because this is 203.
Yes, you are correct, sir.
Well, I'm going to do my best. There's big shoes to fill as a guest, but I'm going to do my best.
Chuck Woolery, Joe. No, I'm sorry.
Okay, what about Bruce? Tell me about Bruce Jenner. Come on.
Bruce Jenner?
What about Bruce Jenner?
Yeah. What does Joe know about Bruce Jenner?
Come on.
If Joe knows something about Bruce Jenner, I would be very.
Oh my!
Which Olympics was that? Was that he did the biathlon, the triathlon, right? That's what. No, he does the decathlon. Decathlon. That was
80s.
Was that in
Georgia?
No, where they had the terrorist attack.
In Lebanon?
No.
I have no idea.
Paris?
No,
during the Olympics.
Yeah, when the Palestinians PLO attacked the Israeli athletes. That was
somewhere where there wasn't a lot of security.
Well, it never used to be. Where was that? Berlin. Anyways, I'll come to me. We'll figure it out.
We don't have Babyface here to Google it. Somebody Google it and let us know.
Yeah, I'll get it.
Yeah. Let's see. Munich. Optile Gun Control says Munich.
That's where they had the terrorist attack. Yeah.
Yeah, and Brick says, I see Hank had to blow out the fro. Yeah, that's the mohawk right there. Yeah. I always get my haircuts on Wednesdays. So if you guys see me on Wednesdays, this is what my hair is going to look like, all like blown out full fro mode. What can I say? Yeah. You cannot get in the way of beauty. So yeah. So we've got Joe, we've got Walter. We're gonna be here. I think all of us are gonna be here for the full 2 hours here. Yep. We'll try to get Silverback Guns back on. Hopefully we'll figure out what's going on with his setup. That's one of the things here. So let's see. Don't forget to hit the thumbs ups, guys. Give us thumbs ups. We need those. That's how we keep everything going here. Try to get YouTube's attention as much as possible because, they're doing a lot of stuff to limit us. It's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's pretty ridiculous. Yeah. Are you noticing the same thing, Joe?
Yeah. So I've noticed a lot of limiting, a lot of shadow banning. Basically, anybody that's, well, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. But if you are subscribed, go back in. The same thing here goes for Hank as well. Go to the main page, and next to the subscribe button, there's a little bell icon, and make sure you click that and that it's activated so that you're getting notifications. Now, several months ago, and I don't remember when, but I had a lot of, and it still happens, but a lot of subscribers saying, "Hey, I'm not seeing your I'm not seeing you're putting new stuff up." And for whatever reason, they defaulted my channel, and it seems like a lot of other pro-gun, liberty type channels, they wiped everybody's notifications. So you have to go back in there and manually request notifications.
Yeah,
and then obviously
it's really insane, but this is what they're up to.
And if so last night, actually, late last night, I got a notification that, and it's why I'm on tonight, that the strike that I got for a video that was like 2 years old got reversed actually last night.
Oh, good news. Good news.
Which is good news. So now I can stream again.
Yeah, and I think that's the same thing with 904 Outdoors. He says his also got reversed. They're just up to a lot of stuff. I actually, and I am gonna shout out people. I am gonna do that. So don't think that I won't shout anyone out. But where was it? I think it was on the Firearm blog. They said that their YouTube channel, T-Tag YouTube channel, receives unexplained community strike. Man. Too bad the Firearm blog doesn't want to get into politics about anything. Yeah.
Right.
It might be time for somebody to... People might want to start getting involved in this bullshit.
They might want to come out of the closet.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's one of the things that drove me nuts about the Firearms blog is, like firearms, not politics.
How can you not?
How can you exactly? How can you not? I mean, I get if you don't want to talk about, whatever, topic of the day is, gay marriage or something, right? All right, fine. Yeah, sure. But how do you divorce yourself from the realities of the legislation, which could completely ban, everything the Firearm blog talks about, right?
Yeah,
it's a ridiculous idea.
Or they're showing guns in the Ukraine, the guns that they're making locally in the Ukraine. Now, how can you avoid? That's political, isn't it? The Russians, Ukrainians.
Yeah. I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I like about the Firearms blog, because they put that kind of stuff out there.
Yeah. I mean, I like the Firearms blog too. I like Firearm blog. I like The Truth About Guns. There's other publications. I like those guys. But it's dipshit thinking to think that you could separate these two things. It's kind of like what Mark Young was saying yesterday, that's like Jeffrey Dahmer saying he's a gourmet cannibal.
Yeah.
I mean, like what kind of weird things you're talking about guns that you can't separate guns and politics.
No.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a reality. We're fighting these battles so that we can actually have these guns. But, I mean, you're probably dealing with some of the people that own these things that I think it's another thing that goes back to what we were talking about yesterday when Chuck was saying that there's people who are Republicans and then people who are conservatives. They're not always exactly the same people. You have lots of people who say, oh, yeah, I'm all for, I'm pro-gun, but they don't really want to fight with those things. And you have some of those people who actually own firearms publications and they don't want to deal with that.
Right. Yeah.
Makes no damn sense to me. But I do not agree with YouTube going after them, going after Brownells, going after The Truth About Guns.
I don't need any of it, to be honest with you. I don't know what they're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And by the way, I mean, that's, the Firearm blog, which, what they're talking about here is T-Tag, right? So that's the Firearms blog, and they're talking about The Truth About Guns. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
They're talking about The Truth About Guns YouTube channel getting a strike, and so I mean, maybe they're moving away from that. Maybe they're starting to realize that they have to get into this. They got to wade into these battles.
Yeah. At least when it pertains directly to firearms,
right?
At least that aspect, anyway.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of things that we have to do. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just saying, there's people commenting in there about the different videos got strikes, and mine also was a silencer video from 18 months ago, maybe 2 years. It was at least 18 months.
Okay, so you're saying it looks like suppressor videos are getting strikes?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's something that we've all got to look into. I know I've got a bunch of suppressor videos.
Well, the good news is that it was reversed. It took them about 4 or 5 days, and they reversed it. So, because you've appealed strikes as well. When for people who are watching who don't know, when we get a strike on our end, we get a little snippet, and on my Instagram page, I put up a snip, the thing of what they sent, and basically it's a one very short paragraph that says your video is not in compliance. It violated community guidelines. We've issued a strike, and that's like it. It doesn't say what community guideline it violated. There's no indication whatsoever of what you actually violated other than community guidelines. So when you go to appeal, you hit that appeal button, you click through your things, you accept it. You have to accept that you've been punished and all this nonsense. You click through, you hit, you finally get to appeal. It brings up a little text box, And it's like a Twitter message, basically. It's very short, maybe 120 to 160 characters of why you don't agree with your appeal. But you have no idea what basis to start the appeal on, because you don't know what community guideline they think you violated.
And you never will.
No, yeah. There's no idea. So you have to try and somehow craft some sort of very short response to fit into this tiny little space that hopefully they will read it and see it. And in this case, they saw it and reversed it. Again, I have no idea why. And, they still didn't say that. The response they gave me, and I posted that one as well, just said, we reviewed it and we decided that it doesn't violate guidelines. It's been reinstated.
Yeah, I think that there's a bot obviously going through, and that bot is functioning on probably certain keywords like suppressor, silencer, that sort of thing. The bot caught you, gave you a strike. When you questioned it, that's because it seems to me like they're coming back at these pretty quick. So that's another thing. Even with Brownells got their channel back pretty fast, but that kind of like became big news.
It's not, and Brownells posted YouTube's phone number too, by the way, to call and tell them you didn't like it, which probably annoys them a little bit too.
Yeah, that's because they did what we did. I don't know if anyone knows that, but there were a bunch of people that helped them out, including us, and so they asked us what we did, and we said we posted their number. We had people call them, email them, all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of how you have to deal with all of this. Right. And I think that to go back to the question about how some publications don't want to talk about politics or whatever weird things we have going on right now. And we were talking about this a little bit yesterday. I think one of the problems that we have is that we don't want to wake up to the fact that this is never going to end. We have to somehow get ownership over what's going on here. And I don't know if that's ever going to happen. Lola tells me to stop even trying to make that happen. But I refuse to give up. Someone's got to step up, or some group of people. We all have to somehow get together and step up and do things here, because this is not really a way to go forward. Because even though we're here, we're on YouTube and we're talking about this, they're still limiting us, and there's less people looking at what we're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's ridiculous when I post a new video now. I've got more subscribers than ever now. I'm adding on, a couple hundred every month. I actually am considering halfway decent growth from new subscriber basis, but my views are for new videos anyway, are absolutely tanking. I mean, my overall views are continuing to go up, but it's on older videos. Yeah. Anything I've published in the past 3 months just absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, and that's exactly what's I don't know what's happening with the big guys, but that's the same thing that's happening to us. We're publishing more on this particular video is going over lifestyles of the Locked and Loaded, a separate channel. I encourage everyone to subscribe to it. It's kind of like our backup, our B channel in case something happens. But we have Hank Strange. Hank Strange keeps growing in terms of numbers. We're putting videos there. I mean, right now we're in rough vacation mode, right? Believe it or not. This is rough vacation mode, but normally we're putting a video up there every day, sometimes multiple times a day. We've got over 65,000 people subscribed to it. Still, it's very hard to get views, and that's because there's a very deliberate thing happening, while at the same time those bots are going through, and every now and then they're hitting people for keywords, and all of this kind of stuff is going on. At some point, someone has to realize that, do you want to wait until the absolute end, or do we try to do something about it?
Wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I don't know. It seems pretty apathetic at this point, I think. You guys, I don't know. You guys probably share my thing on that. What do you think, Walter? It's never going to happen, right? We're not getting together.
What do you mean never going to happen? The fixing the whole.
No, I mean, I don't think we could fix YouTube or anything else. What I think is that when it comes to a lot of this stuff, somehow we have to get together and
the people,
we've got to get together and do our own things. If there's really a community out there,
the content creators.
Yeah, if there's really a community of people who not only create the content, it's the people who are listening. I know there's people in the chat right now, and they care about it, and we care about it, and we're here and giving this our time. You guys came off from work, Me too, Lola as well. Everyone who's there came off of work or doing things, and we're all here. Are we like a little tiny community that's almost infinitesimal, or is there a huge community of us on all different sides trying to do this? And we have to stop trying to like play
Cut each other's throat?
No, well, yes, that's one, but we also have to stop trying to play in the YouTube sandbox and Facebook sandbox and all that kind of stuff. You know,
there's got to be new sandboxes.
Yeah,
but it'll take time for that all to evolve. It won't happen immediately. It's not gonna like overnight. There's gonna be this big shift. Ooh, it'll take time for the
Well, and also I'll tell you guys this. I think, and I'm probably gonna get in trouble for this, but I think that this is one of the reasons why YouTube keeps giving people their channels back and removing strikes because what I think is this. I think that everyone goes, it's like that whole thing about, you know what? It's really a recession if your neighbor gets laid off, right? You know, recession. Old Joe across the street, he got laid off, right? But when you get laid off, you're like, what the hell? We're in the Great Depression.
It's a depression when that happens.
Yeah. It's really that problem that we have as human beings. So until something happens to us, we don't pay any attention. Like, we don't give a shit if it happens to someone else or whatever until it happens to us. But if it's happening to us and then they're like, oh, okay, we'll give you a channel back. Oh, you know what? We'll take away that strike. Then we breathe a deep sigh of relief and we go right back to, you know.
Well, that's why I say they're kind of dangling everybody. They're just like, oh, you know, they don't want everybody to leave at once. You know, so we'll play the game for a while, and you know, we'll give you your time back, and we'll strike you again, and then we'll give it to you. You know,
they're just pimping us. They're just pimping us, man.
Right.
Yeah, I recommend everyone out there watch "Pimps Up, Hoes Down." Very, very poignant documentary, and I think YouTube is just playing us because they get this. Yeah, they understand. They could play this game forever until they actually just permanently delete channels, and we're all out war and Armageddon here. No one's gonna do shit about this.
Yeah. Yeah, the average person really can't do it. Well, okay, the average guy that's making content, I mean, aside from switching to somebody else's service, he really can't do a whole lot about it. He's stuck. But what do? You know, they delete your channel, and you know, you go to some other place where nobody goes to.
Yeah, well, that's what Ghost Tactical's saying. He's saying that the gun community has to understand that YouTube is crucial to getting our message out. This is where the audience is. They are definitely out to get us, but we need to learn to play the game.
Right.
I understand that. I'm not saying delete your YouTube channels and go somewhere else. I'm saying build somewhere else and use YouTube.
Use all your options.
Yeah, make both pimp hands strong, damn it.
I like to say use them like a Trojan, you know.
Yeah, so, exactly.
You use it till it, you know.
Yeah. I've been saying this for a long time. I've been, you know, working on things and all that kind of stuff. I put a lot of time and energy into it. And ultimately, I'm not saying go away from YouTube or Facebook or Instagram and all that kind of stuff. I've got several of those things. I run those things for other people. There's a whole bunch, you know, hey, I'm in it. I get it. You know, I'm with that. Use it. Let's use them.
Right.
Yeah, let's use them and channel and funnel like our audience over to other places so that the more they do this, the more people go to other places. I really would like to see that. Right. I don't see it. Not really. There's some things out there trying to get there. For some reason, we just don't have that fire under our asses to really get out there and do something substantial about this. And man, we are just wasting such a huge opportunity here. In the end, this is how they win the war against us. It's a war of 1,000 paper cuts.
Mm-hmm. You know, I have to wonder, are the people at YouTube were pretty smart. Google is kind of now, I mean, not that they're not smart, but they're feeling an aura of invincibility and superiority, right? So you have to wonder, is someone down at YouTube thinking, all right, if we kick off the entire firearms community, which theoretically, if we rile enough up, there was enough to get Trump elected, right? Theoretically, I mean, that's you know, when it comes down to it, the NRA played, you know, not the NRA, the pro-gun vote, which, you know, NRA tries to claim a bunch of responsibility for, got Trump elected, allegedly. So are they looking at the pro-gun community and they see the full views on their end, what people are actually searching for, how much people actually watch of actual, gun content, right? Are they looking at that and saying, if we alienate this entire segment of the US population, they might actually en masse enough of them go and get one of these other startup video streaming companies to actually get enough traction to get off the ground. And once it gets off the ground, it could snowball into the next competitor. Right. So they keep hammering us, but let us come up just a little bit, then hammer us back down and not completely get rid of us.
Just kind of dangle you.
Like Walter's saying, dangle us. And that way we don't really go anywhere else, but they're still destroying us and they're still making money off of us. It's not like, because ads run on my stuff all the time that are demonetized.
Oh yeah.
But obviously I'm not seeing any of that, but YouTube's just keeping all of it.
Yeah. I think that you're true. That's part of what you're right. That is absolutely part of what they're doing. I think there's other things going on here so far as what YouTube's attempting. I don't know if they're really, really super worried about as much as someone starting their own thing and making money out of it. Because ultimately, if other people start their own thing that's not us, and this is a big part of to me, when I look at the conversation we were having last night, it's us. It's like how we're doing everything that we're doing. But so if someone starts this, that's not us. So if all of a sudden Facebook became the thing, Facebook's going to do the same shit. All these other companies that are run by really liberal, progressive, socialist, Marxist people, they're all going to do the same shit. I don't think they're really worried about that. I think the bigger, maybe that's like a small part of the equation. A bigger part of the equation for YouTube is that right now they don't have political cover. If they did that and Trump's in office, this is why I'm telling you, I don't agree. You guys hear me talk about the things I don't agree with Trump. But if we had Hillary Clinton as the president, okay, YouTube would knock us so hard upside the head. They wouldn't give a crap what we do. They would just kill all these channels. Okay, they would just do it because they would not be worried.
There would be no. Let's say here, I don't know if what the government can do, but there would be no
retribution.
By anybody with any authority, because they just all look the other way and go,
if the government, if that's what they're worried about, the government getting involved, not just the president, but they're worried about getting called up to Congress. Right. And being here's the thing that they're really afraid of. They do not want to be declared a utility.
Well, I don't think that's not a good idea. So
yes, and see that's one of the ways that we're all working.
Because it'll kill. You do that, then it becomes regulated. It'll be killed. Done. Finished.
Yeah, I agree with you. So we're stuck between a rock.
That's like that goofy stuff with talk AM radio and having equal time for equal views. It doesn't work because nobody wants to hear. No advertisers want to pay for leftist radio. That's why that's never worked. All these left wing, they're going to be like Rush Limbaugh. But guess what? They can't get any advertisers, so it doesn't work.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. And ultimately, this is a business. It takes servers. It's not a magical thing.
You got to pay for that advertising. You got to be able to say, "Hey, these people are looking at this." And
yes, and the advertising has to pay for the whole backbone that everything's running against the service, thing. Right. And I see people are asking me, like, "What about alternatives?" I get it. I'm on an alternative. So's Joe.
It just takes time, it just won't happen all of a sudden. Everybody's not going to jump to the same ship either.
Yeah, it is taking time, and there's a lot of complicated things going on out there. There's lots of alternatives, and there's not one, and I don't think we want one of them to exist. No. We want multiple alternatives to be out there, and it's just one of those things that has to shake out somehow.
It'll take some time.
Yeah, we're just not there. I could just tell you guys. Like, I've spent a lot of time looking at this, talking about it, working on it behind the scenes. We're just not there with any of these places, because if we were there with any place that exists right now, most of us would go over there. Not all of us, but most of us would be there.
There'd be a big shift.
Yeah. So it's just not that easy. It's not that simple. It's something that takes a lot of money. And like Walter's saying, if the government gets involved and goes, okay, it's going to be government like Trump internet or something like that, like Obamacare, and there's Trump internet. Internet's not going to be any better.
No, because it'll be regulated, and you don't want that. The thing about the internet is you're supposed to be able to express yourself, right?
Yeah.
I don't have to like what everybody says, and you don't have to like what everybody says, but you can say it. If the government gets involved, you'll have to have equal time for all different.
Yeah. Something will come out of this. I feel it's like a Napster kind of thing. I'm waiting for someone who thinks like us, but is also that kind of like, I forgot who the guys that came up with Napster or any of these other things are out there. Someone's going to go, yeah, you know, time for freedom. Let's create something, put it out there. There's an alternative. There's a way to backbone this thing, to build that highway, to create that bandwidth, servers, whatever it is that it takes to do it, for us all to get on there and do this thing. However, once again, it's got to get real desperate. That's what happened with Napster, right? When people just got tired of paying. Well, they went down. Napster went, okay, technically Napster went down. It didn't really.
They ran headlong right into Metallica.
Well, here's what happened. The government got involved with Napster, but Napster didn't go away. Napster became iTunes.
Right. It got
okay, and Spotify and this thing and that thing. Basically what happens, this is what happens all the time in life, right? People talk about this. Something cool comes up. Someone comes up with a cool idea. The government gets involved and regulates it, like you said, but they regulate it to destroy it from whoever it was that came up with that idea and then part it out to certain other people. And so that's why now you've got iTunes and Spotify and this thing and that thing. Napster's still here. That's one of the greatest things that's happened in the last 30, 40 years. And it still exists. Technically, we are all, you know, who's really listening to radio anymore? Everyone's using their internet on their phone to listen to music and stuff. Like, oh, like you came from like 500 years ago.
Oh,
you know, but the rest
I listen to AM radio, like for Rush Limbaugh and stuff like that. Now for music, I'm satellite. Boom. I don't do no more commercial radio. I hate that shit. I just can't put up with the
satellite radios. I listen to satellite in my cars when it's free, but it's just as bad. It's just as horrible as regular radio for the most part.
Why? You get to choose where you want to go. You don't have to listen to commercials.
Yeah, but there's a lot of commercials. Like I listen to Howard Stern, believe it or not. It's a fuck ton of commercials on Howard Stern.
Why don't listen to Howard Stern?
And Sirius Satellite and all those things, they have commercials.
For Sirius, they do.
Yeah, they have commercials and all that.
It's still better than. I mean, I can turn on the local rock station here, like 98 Rock, and they're playing the same music lineup as they were playing 15 years ago.
Yeah, everyone's doing it. So that's why I'm saying to you, how are people entertaining themselves? They are using the internet, and they're selectively like, you know, I'm not saying people don't listen to Sirius Satellite, but you know, help me out, Joe. There's people that listen to, like my kids listen to YouTube. People listen to Spotify. People use Pandora.
I mean, everybody doesn't want to pay for anything either. So,
the only benefit I see to satellite radio is some of the news channels, the live news channels. Otherwise, yeah, I don't. I called. You know, they send me every month. They try and get me to. They send all these letters out. I called them once. I said, look, your service to me is worth $1 a month. I will pay you $1 a month for satellite radio so that I can get these channels. That's all you're worth to me. That's it. Otherwise, I stream everything I want from my phone. You're obsolete.
You want to go a la
carte? Just so that I can hit the button on the thing and not have to tie up my phone. I'll do it. They won't do it.
No, you want to go a la carte.
Go the way of the dodo bird. I don't care.
Yeah, you want to go a la carte. It's the same thing with cable, right? With looking at television or movies.
Yeah.
People don't want to pay. Like I don't want to pay. Well, where I live, it's going to be Dish or something like that, right? It's not necessarily cable, but I don't want to pay them for 200-300 channels, and I only watch 5 channels.
6 years now. I've been cable free for 6 years.
Yes.
Years ago, my cable. My 1 year ran out, and I think it was, you know, they have that triple play thing. And at the time, the triple play was like $99 6 years ago. So, you know, and real quick, you know, it was a bunch of different stuff with the phone and the internet, and they re-upped it. And the new plan was like $180 for the same thing I had. I was like, all right, look, I don't need all these movie channels, this. What can we do to get me back down to close to this rate? If they would increase it, you know, 10, 20 bucks, whatever. But they would not drop the price a penny, not a penny. The advertisements coming in the mail were the same deal if I was new, but they would not drop it a penny. And they kept throwing on. By the end of it, I had all the NFL tickets, every single movie channel, all these extra things. I mean, literally like $500 worth of stuff they threw on by the end of this phone call. I said, I don't care. I don't want to pay for all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was just like, you know what? I'm done. I'm out. Canceled it. And I haven't looked back. It's been glorious.
It's not just you. It's a lot of us. I don't pay for that. You don't pay for it. Lots of people don't pay for it. And that's the thing that I'm saying. We'll find a way. This is why people are watching more YouTube. They're watching more podcasts. They're listening to iTunes and this thing and that thing. People are doing that. And we have an audience, and they know that. There's people who want to listen to what we have to say. Yeah. They know this. There's lots of people who want to listen to it. The problem is that ultimately, in order to get people to realize that we have these things out there and we're saying it, we have to use social media to talk to people, and we have to use some of these platforms to distribute, right? That's kind of like what we're dealing with. We've got to be able to create it and distribute it to people. And that's where they're able to put up roadblocks, because they don't do it for lots of other people, but they do it for us because they know this is a way they can control the message, you know, and and somewhere along the line, we have to figure this out. Just like people figured out, oh, I'm just going to go to YouTube or Netflix or Amazon Prime or Hulu. You know, just like people figured out other ways of getting their music and not downloading. Like, remember they were, you know, you guys remember they were trying to make us buy albums, and they were like, no, screw that. We don't want to buy it. If I'm gonna spend that money, I want that one song off the album. There's
the last album that was worth buying was the double live from Pink Floyd. It was Dark Side of the Moon and The Wall, the double live. That was the last album worth buying, I think.
What year was that?
95.
Long time ago.
Yeah, maybe 1995.
Yeah. So that's the thing. I think this is, you know, I don't really feel like it's impossible and it's never going to happen. I think it is going to happen, but it's going to take a lot. It's someone, probably the person who's going to do this is out there already, or the people, they're out there. Probably the thing already exists out there. I'm just telling you guys this. I'm not trying to be coy or anything like that. I don't know what it is right now. If someone wants to ask me, I do not know exactly what it is. I think it exists. I think the people exist. There's a whole bunch of different things that have to happen. We have to discover that thing. Life has to get so, you know, tragic and tough. Like this crazy thing that we have as human beings, we have to have that saber-toothed tiger trying to eat our asses before we're like, oh, wait, we got to invent spears or something.
That's not the driving force. This is the driving force. Money. It'll happen when the money's right.
That's what you think? It's like a money thing? Okay.
It's all about the money. I mean, because if the ideas or the ways out there, why isn't somebody doing it? I mean, you're going to jump into that when it'll happen. You just got to be patient.
So who do you think out there has that level of money?
There's lots of people who do.
Okay. Do you have any people in mind that we could talk to?
I wish I did.
Phone number, because that dude just was selling flamethrowers. Anybody who sells flamethrowers has got to be awesome, in my opinion.
Who are you talking about? Who?
Elon Musk.
Oh,
Elon Musk.
That's a pussy flamethrower, though.
Yeah. Have you seen these flamethrowers?
That's a little.
No, I haven't.
No, you need a real one.
The videos are coming out right now with these flamethrowers. It's bullshit. It's a propane tank on top of there. You know, I don't know, lasts a couple of minutes.
It ain't any good. You can get a better one.
Yeah.
You know,
there's been, what's the name of that company that we always see when we go to like the Aries range that makes a thing?
X95 or something?
Is it X95?
Something like that. Yeah. I just signed up with the distributor that has them a Second Amendment firearm. Second Amendment something.
But this is the problem. Those guys exist. They make a pretty badass flamethrower that you could buy. They don't get, you know, Elon Musk is Tesla should have been out of business a long time ago. I don't know if you guys know this little secret. Tesla is operating on massive losses.
Government money, government money.
Yeah. They cannot deliver the cars that they can't deliver fast enough. They've got the media, they've got politicians on their side. People's crazy asses are going out there and ordering the Teslas. One of the people over here has a Tesla. I get it, you know. But people are ordering these things. They can't even manufacture them fast enough. Okay, they can't build them fast enough. They're spending money that they don't have. Elon Musk is playing like a massive shell game with everyone, and then he throws out a stupid ass flamethrower. You know, and everyone goes, "Ooh, boy."
I didn't actually see it. The one little promo video that I saw, it looked just like the X95, whatever, whatever the one that we've seen people like Rachel B and stuff have, and I can't remember the name of it from the top.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the name of that.
It looked like it worked.
Yeah, but it's not like that. I understand when he came out with it, we talked about it on the show. I can't remember what episode that was. But today, the reason why I'm saying it to you today, I saw that oh man, there's this girl, I forgot the name of the YouTube channel where she unboxes stuff all the time. She's like cute little blonde chick, and she unboxes stuff. And so she ordered one of those things. It's basically like a super soaker.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's
a water gun.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, basically, except it uses propane and it lights it, and then for whatever a short period of time, you know, you've got that propane burn. It's
and it looks like a damn Nerf gun. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Is that what I'm thinking? Is kind of yellow and orange and
yeah.
Looks like plastic. You know, I don't know.
I
haven't seen one in person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen them in person either. I did see some of the videos, and actually these YouTubers, you guys will have to look it up. I'm sure it's out there getting cajillion views. But so if you look it up, you'll see that they all went to an event that Elon Musk put on, or whatever the hell is the name of that thing. And they can't even technically, they can't call it a flamethrower, which I don't know if maybe no one that's making these can call them flamethrowers.
An actual, under the true name of flamethrower, it's still a regulated item. Walter would probably know better than I do, but from what I recall, there's a specific name I know they can't use.
Flamethrowers you can have a real full-on military flamethrower. They're not.
Really?
Yeah, as far as I know, there's no. And you might live in a communist state or county where you can't, but
maybe it's state that I don't know.
For the most part, as far as I know, they're not regulated like destructive devices or anything like that. They're not, because how would you? Well, you just unless you just ban them, because you can buy those ones, the X95 or whatever, and it takes liquid. You can pour any kind of liquid you want in there, diesel fuel, gasoline, or mix the two, and it's pretty badass. I mean, you know, we were using one last weekend at Aries. To start the campfire with, and
was it Rachel? Because Rachel's always starting fires.
I need one of those that work.
Yeah, you'll get one. Just don't forget about what's his name, Super Soaker. J Rock says Musk's made 10 million in 48 hours with those flamethrowers. I don't know I forgot how much they were, but he made about 10 million bucks. That's not enough money though to keep Tesla around. I was also, man, you know, that's another thing I was watching today. I was looking at trying to remember the name of the channel. I think it's TFL Cars. They were talking about what's going on with Tesla. I'm pretty sure, you know, I don't know if they're going to get more government funding. I don't think they should. They shouldn't have got government funding in the first place.
Then I should get government funding too. And you should. And Joe should. And everybody else. Why? What makes him so special? Because he's doing solar stuff. And he's flying rockets too. And, you know, I mean, why? That's like government money to build a sports stadium. Why the hell are they building a sports stadium with government money? It's like, if they can't do it themselves, why? Then the hell with them. The Yankees.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see. We didn't shout anyone out. If anyone out there needs a shout out, let us know. We'll definitely do shout outs. You know, because I'm not against it. I know we're pretty deep into the show already. Yeah. But I'm happy to shout out anyone. I see Zero Cool Ray is in the chat. I see him. I'm going to give him a special shout out. Everyone right now in the chat, go and thank Zero Cool, because he's the reason that we got Chuck Woolery on yesterday.
Oh,
cool.
Zero Cool.
That's crazy talk. Cool. Thank you, Zero Cool.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that was awesome, Zero Cool.
Yeah, we appreciate you very much.
This flight of pizzas for you, Zero Cool.
Yeah. If you need your foot rubbed, Walter will do some foot rubbing.
Oh, my man.
You know.
Well, that's Zero Cool's like a, you know, Zero Cool chick.
No, his name is Ray.
Oh, Ray. No.
No chick is gonna be cool if her name is Ray, but it's a dude. So yeah, he's a cool guy. So everyone thank him for you know, helping us out yesterday. he's the whole reason that we got Chuck Woolery on. And
that was cool, that was fun.
And he communicated with me directly. I keep telling people, I put my number out there, you know, and that's one of the ways that all worked out. You know, we got together and we did some stuff.
Big Dick Willie's in the house.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Out, man.
Has anyone seen Tank? I don't know whether or not a Tank is in there. I'm just trying to go through the chat real quick. He's usually number one, but I you know, he might be on vacation or something right now, hanging out with the family or something. Speaking of which, Lola and I are going to be on vacation next week, people. Start whatever rumors you want to now. But we'll be Lola. I've been trying to tell Lola to cancel vacation. And she's like, no, I already paid for this vacation. No. We're doing it. So, which I understand. Like we, you know, both of our boys now have graduated high school. So they're both, you know, one's in college. The other one I think is going to start in a couple of weeks once we get back. He's going to start school. So Lola wants to do this vacation because she doesn't know how often we're all going to be able to go on vacation.
You got to do it, man. You got to do it.
We did it last year. We went out west. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Not that these podcasts aren't awesome, but I guarantee you in 20, 30, 40 years, you're going to look back and be glad that you missed a week's worth of podcasts to be able to take that trip.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, man. I see it now. Like my kids, both of them are driving.
Yeah.
They should.
Yeah, they are. I mean, it's good. They're both driving. They're good drivers. Probably, I don't know, maybe better than me. I don't know. Anything's possible.
Richard Hughes says Tank got caught with a dead hooker.
Uh-oh.
And then Brian Quick says Tank is in jail for Russian collusion. On Hank's podcast.
Joe Carpenter says Tank got tanked. Oh, boy. Yeah, so, and Wolf Stonehenge says, Walter, quit eating. You got to feed that big head.
Gotta eat.
I just massive cranium.
Right before the show here, I was at the shop making the donuts, test firing rifles. Boom.
Yeah.
Boom. Nice. You know, so I gotta feed the beast. You know.
So has anybody ever commented to you how damn tough the bullet catcher you use must be in order to sustain hits from freaking 50 cal?
It's all about the angle of the dangle. So it has like an 11-degree piece of steel that those rounds hit, and then it spins in there like a shell, and then there's water going at the same time. Which, you know, like when the space shuttle took off, you dump all that water in there, and it buffers the blast and the speed of that projectile in there, and goes and it falls out the bottom. And it's pretty mangled and everything when it falls out the bottom, and the jacket's tore off. But it's pretty amazing. You shoot 50 cal like that, you'd think it would. And I've shot lots and lots of rounds in that too. And I bought a replacement piece, the 11-degree piece, which will unbolt. You can put a replacement in, and I've had that trap now for working on 10 years and haven't had to use the replacement yet. So
okay, wow. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
you guys hear me? Okay, cool. Okay, I don't know. My thing froze for a second here. We're still on the construction here, so who knows what's happening. Walter, I was going to ask you, how old is that thing, and how long can those go? Do those have a shelf life?
You just got to look at it and watch it and make sure you start to get the wear on the 11-degree part. But I haven't seen any signs of having to replace it. I mean, as long as it's not, you can shoot 50 cal. As long as you're not supposed to be like shooting M2 50 cal like, over and over and over. I shoot bolt action, so it's not a problem. But any other smaller guns, I shoot all kinds of machine guns in there and stuff. No problem at all. So
yeah. And how much does something like that cost?
That was like $9,000 then when we bought it.
Oh, okay, forget it. I was about to say.
But they make that's made by Savage Range Systems, which is part of Savage. And they make smaller ones. They make a desktop one. I mean, you could have one in your shop. If you're test firing pistols and small calibers, you can have it right on top of your desk. It doesn't. Those don't run water. I don't believe in them. But which would be a kind of a mess on the desktop. But
yeah. So Joe Carpenter wants to know what's the velocity on the 50 cal round.
Out of a 20-inch barrel, a 29-inch barrel, it's about 2,600 feet per second. And then it goes down as you get shorter barrels. On the 12-inch gun, it's still coming out. When we checked it, it was coming out at 1,900 feet per second. So from 1,900 to 2,600, yeah.
That's a whole lot of hurt going down.
Yeah.
You should have saw it at the shoot this past weekend when we let off with the 50 cal. Some of these people were walking around there with like these little foam earplugs in and stuff. There's one guy was standing right behind Will one time when he did it, and I don't think he had anything in. I think I don't know. These people are idiots, I guess. I don't know.
The concussion is even what gets you, man. The concussion from that thing is no joke.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But
I won't forget one of the first times I fired a 50. A buddy of mine, I was living down in Florida at the time, and another friend of mine was stood, and I didn't realize it as I shot, but he was standing just off to the side, off to my left, like perfect, right off that blast angle of the muzzle device. Yeah. And I shot, and you know, the first time you shoot a 50, you're like, that was awesome. So it was a bolt action, and I set it down, and I looked over, and my buddy's just kind of like doing one of these. He must have been like 2 foot off my shoulder when I pulled that trigger. Yeah, he got his bell rung. It was hilarious.
Yeah. That's what makes it fun.
I call that the divine wind. So, but yeah, it'll definitely clear things out to the sides if you have people are shooting and they got ammo boxes and debris on the table. It'll take it right off the table. So, pretty cool.
Yeah.
But
okay, so let's see. Now, you know what? Let me see if we need to. Should we talk? Because last night we really didn't get into any. We did talk about a lot of things. That was a really good conversation. So we haven't. There's a whole bunch of things in the news we didn't cover.
I was on the Firearms blog, and I see that because I'm in the Tampa Bay area, the Tampa PD is going to replace their Smith & Wesson MMPs with Sig Sauer P320s.
That's interesting. Yeah.
There's a bunch of departments that have just dropped that information, like 5 or 6.
I want to know
in a row, because I'm still on that SIG media announcement blast they do. And there's been like 5 or 6 departments that picked up the 320 within the past like week or two. And after all that's happened with the 320, how people are still making those announcements, it's like, do you people not read the news?
I've lost my faith. I've lost my faith in these departments that are doing that. I don't know.
Well, they get made offers and deals, and you know it's. But I want to know who's doing the deal, because there's going to be a whole bunch of M&Ps on the used market coming up here. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I say pick the crap. You know, get those.
That's when I'll get an M&P, when it's like cheap.
Yeah. When you can get a bunch of magazines and stuff like that going. I don't, it's really crazy what's going on. These guys, I guess, have not heard about the P365, but this is what the firearms
do.
Yeah.
I mean, everything SIG's been putting their hands on lately damn near has had some sort of issue. I mean, it's like Remington striker fired side, right? I mean, now, obviously, not everything Remington is bad. I mean, I've had great luck with like some of their DPMS G2 line with their 1911s that come from the para-ordnance side of the house. AAC stuff is still fantastic, but it's like, you get somebody in that little segment, but on the other side with SIG, it's like SIG's entire side is just incompetent. I don't know any other way to put it.
Yeah, Brick says city department's motto: if she's cheaper, she's a keeper. I think
the SIG reps are out there buying these people buying the people making the decision steak dinners, and apparently 1 or 2 steak dinners is all it takes to get a contract.
Yeah, or they're giving them really special
hookers and cocaine, baby, hookers and cocaine.
Yeah, or they're getting really special deals on other SIG stuff maybe that they want. So now in the title of this thing, we called it 99 cents first month for Big Daddy Unlimited. And we didn't talk about that at the beginning because we got sidetracked like we usually do. But I do want to take the time to tell everyone that's hanging out with us right now, yes, your ears are not deceiving you. If you haven't gotten up with Big Daddy Unlimited, if you haven't checked it out, if you think that $9.99 is too much for you to pay a month, the first month you can get for 99 cents now from Big Daddy Unlimited. So, you guys might want to take advantage of this opportunity right now and jump onto the Big Daddy Unlimited. In the description of this video, there is a link that you can go through that will take you there, and you can get your 99 cents a month, get to look around, poke around in the system, see what's there, how much money you can save. You get 30 days to figure it out, whether or not it's for you. And I think that's, listen, 99 cents, come on. That's not bad. No.
No, I'm right there with you, man. I just, I'm right there with you.
Yeah. So, that's the thing. I want to make sure everyone knows about it. It's going on right now. You might want to take advantage of that. Huh?
I said, yeah, that's a heck of a deal.
Yeah. It's not 99 cents. I mean, how much? Well, you can buy some. How much 22 can you buy for 99 cents?
How much 22?
You can't even get a 13C patch for 99 cents.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, you could, but
Yeah. That's the postage on a 13C stamp.
Right.
So you guys should go check that out. Lola's putting a link here in the chat, but there is a link in the description that you guys could check out. That's going on right now.
Okay.
Let's see what other news. I think that was okay. We talked about all the police departments going to P320s.
Well, a little news on my end of things. I mentioned this to you already, Hank. The Army's looking for some new subguns, and my HK stock, or my HK style MP5 K stock, is going to be in that trial on the Zenith guns. It looks like.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome! Congratulations.
Yeah. They want to use it, and I love to give it to them. So, so yeah, that's coming up for us. Plus, we're doing the reverse. They call the reverse stretch, which is the old school MP5 style, and they want to use that too. So,
very cool.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, when are we gonna know about that whole thing? Do you have any idea when?
I'm looking for the article. I first saw it on the Firearms blog, but I can't find it now.
Okay.
But I guess that's all coming down. They've already purchased. They've purchased guns from Zenith. They purchased them from SIG. They're trying all the different subgun type guns out there. So I guess it's happening. I just don't know exactly when. They're going to be purchasing stuff from me very shortly, but when the trials take place and all that monkey business, I don't know. But that was cool.
Yeah. There's a bunch of things going on here. Let's see. Because we've probably been out of the loop. I know I have been here for a while. Judge grants gun saves lives motion to block Deerfield gun ban.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yesterday proved a bad day for the village of Deerfield, Illinois. A Lake City County judge savaged the village's new gun ban ordinance hours before its implementation was to take effect. In a 20-page decision, Judge Louis Barones granted gun save lives and the NRA ILA's motion for a temporary restraining order. What's more, the decision proved a big defeat for the three law firms representing Deerfield. Nice.
How much
taxpayer dollars on that? Aren't there?
Deerfield. How much money can Deerfield have?
Yeah, they need 3 lawyers.
3 firms, not lawyers.
Firms.
3 firms. Yeah.
They are. They're actually. Deerfield has some pretty nice communities in it. Some higher end communities in it.
Yeah, but how many of those people are behind this? Who's behind this?
I can't imagine it's half the city. I mean, so I work up in the greater Chicago area a couple of days a week. I have a lot of friends up in that area, and there are a lot of people on both sides, right? But still, there's a good contingent of people that are on the more pro-gun side. What's that, Walter?
The conservative side?
Sort of, yeah.
I mean, people that they got to pay their fee to the community thing, and they got to pay their taxes, and they got to pay this. So to me, it's like, what are you spending my money to go after guns for? Like I always say, don't you hear it outside in Deerfield? You hear it all? It isn't happening.
Right.
It's like, it's not like the Lower East Side or whatever it is in Chicago where you can't hear it at night. Yeah.
So Richard Harper has a good point here, and I saw this today. NRA is claiming basically a unilateral victory that they had in Deerfield with this verdict, right?
Yeah, that's their move. That's how they do it.
GOA did that lawsuit, didn't it?
It is despicable what they do and how badly. I mean, they're like NRA victory you see everywhere, right? No, well, first of all, it's a victory for the people of Deerfield,
right?
First and foremost. Second, Guns Save Lives, and which is an Illinois-based organization. They used to have billboards up all along the thing. They kept getting vandalized. I don't know if they have any up there right now. And then Illinois State Rifle Association. Those two groups were spearheading this. Now, yeah, the NRA did hop on board. But to say that the NRA was, I mean, if you listen to the NRA, they're the only ones doing anything. And it's the same way that they've railroaded and tanked a couple other things. It infuriates me, especially since I know some of the folks that are working hard as hell in Illinois. And I don't want to say to have their thunder stolen, but the fact that they just get thrown under the bus. I mean, they're a small, local group fighting their asses off. They need every dollar they can get and membership they can get. And for the NRA to just throw them under the bus like that, it's really despicable.
Yeah. And by the way, Cyrus 308 says the problem with the ruling is that Highland Park, Illinois, right next to Deerfield, won their ban. This ain't over. So, that's something to bear in mind.
So there's.
And then he also says the NRA ILA backed the suit with money. So I'm just giving you his 2 cents on that one.
They did give some money. I mean, I'm not saying the NRA didn't do anything. They were involved in it and they helped a lot, but they weren't the only group. And I think it's also important. There's a little bit of a difference with Highland Park. Highland Park has been in effect for a while, and they predated some of the. There's home rule issues and all kinds of. Illinois is so convoluted, but a lot of some of the stuff for the Highland thing, from what I remember, that goes back a long time. That goes back pre-Heller. That goes back pre a number of different things when Highland Park won theirs.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So, is there, because I haven't had a chance to, keep a close eye on this. I'm assuming that this is just going from county to county in this area, right? They're going to try to take this apart piece by piece, Joe?
Absolutely. And there are actually about a dozen counties in Illinois that have declared themselves Second Amendment zones.
Yeah.
So there are like a dozen counties where the county governments and prosecutors and sheriffs have said, we're not enforcing any of this on any of this stuff we don't agree with, is basically what they've said. They didn't use those exact words, but that's exactly what they said. They call themselves Second Amendment sanctuary zones. Mm-hmm. What is the, what do they call it? The immigrant safety zone on the other side of it. Sanctuary City.
Sanctuary
City.
Right.
Yeah. It's a Second Amendment sanctuary city.
Counties.
Yeah, these things cut both ways, apparently.
Yeah. So it is, for people who don't know, and I can't speak to California because I don't know enough people personally in California. But in Illinois, there are a lot of good people behind enemy lines fighting like hell, and there are a lot of conservative counties in Illinois that just get. I mean, to put it in perspective, I think a damn near 50% of the state's population live within 3 counties that are in Cook County, the main one in Illinois, and right around. It's like at least damn near half the state's population live in this super condensed area. And the rest of the state, with the exception of like the area that's right around the Capitol and Springfield, is very, very conservative, very rural.
And rural, yeah.
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 And they're stuck with that liberal mindset.
Yeah. Let's see here. Just I'm not trying to change the subject. If you guys want to get into that, I'm just trying to go through a bunch of new stuff. Obviously, there's a whole bunch of things we missed.
All right, I got to talk about the one thing I'm excited about.
Okay.
Honda's bringing back the monkey.
All right.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah. It's a little motorcycle they had from the 70s. So it's kind of retro.
Yeah, just Google Honda Monkey. I'm Googling it. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah. And I'm like,
how many cc's is this?
It's 125.
125. That's great. Is it? Does it use a clutch and everything?
Oh yeah, it'll have all that stuff, and it's street legal too. I see all the lights and everything else. So man,
that's a cool little bike, man. That's like an apocalyptic vehicle right there.
Yeah, you could throw that. Yeah.
Do we know what they're going to sell it for? Let me see who threw
MSRP is $39.90, $4,000. Yeah,
okay.
but it's a Honda. It is the Honda. Yeah. So
yeah.
I mean, you can get a Chi-Com knockoff for probably $1,000, but you're getting what you get. But
man, it is cool though. I think it looks really cool.
Yeah.
Always a good idea to have those.
Yeah, if you like that kind of thing,
Yeah, I like all vehicles.
Yeah.
anything with a motor in it.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a bunch of different motor news that's happening. FCA. I don't know if you guys are familiar with FCA. Basically, these are the guys that are like Fiat, Chrysler,
okay,
etc. They are.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I think which one?
We're talking about
Dodge is going away.
Spinning off Chrysler.
Yeah, Chrysler's going away. In the next couple of years, they're going to go to all electric.
That's not going to work. Sorry.
They're not doing diesel anymore. A bunch of companies aren't doing diesel anymore. Diesel's going
that
away.
whole thing with the EPA scared them off, I think. In the Volkswagen thing, which I think was a bunch of bullshit, to be honest with you. But
it seems to me like car guys, man, it's rough times ahead if you're like a true dyed-in-the-wool car. And I'm not against electric cars. Just so people know, I'm not. Yeah, I don't know how I should say that. That if I'm not against
it, I'm not against it, but it has to be commercially viable.
Yeah, people should sink or swim on their own. And
I don't want my tax dollars subsidizing the electric thing.
Yeah, so. One of the things I'm for efficiency. I'm fine with that. I like efficiency, right? So a lot of this is getting pushed on us because this electric thing's, how the hell is it better? We're still the electricity.
You have to generate electricity.
Yeah, it's getting made from coal
or whatever.
Burning fossil fuels.
It doesn't matter what it's getting made from. You still have to generate it. So
that's what I'm saying.
So you're going to be charging your vehicle at non-peak times. So what you're going to do is going to turn non-peak times into peak times, and you're going to get screwed on your electric bill.
Yeah, well, this is going to happen, though. This is what I'm trying to say to you. More and more companies out there, if you're looking at these trends, there's more and more companies saying that in the next 2 to 5 years, without a doubt, in the 10 years from now, so we're in 2018, in 2028, these companies are not going to be making
they will
fossil fuel burning vehicles. They're talking this crap.
Want to make a bet?
Okay. I mean, I'm not. Don't. These people are stupid.
How are you going to take that electric car and drive it 13 hours to Kentucky? You won't be able to.
I do not think you'll be able to. I agree with you on that.
So I mean, what good is it? It's no good.
Yeah. The only purpose of it, like because I think the reach on these things that they can go is gone up somewhere like 200, 250 miles on a charge. If you're living close to the city, that's fine. You can drive around, but if you,
fine.
Yeah.
But, and look at the nasty, dirty, environmentally unfriendly batteries. They're nasty. I mean, they're hazardous as hell. I mean, the stuff that goes in batteries. So now you're going to make more of that. So then what happens when you have to get rid of that? Or that car hits that toll booth, like that video I saw on the internet, and the thing explodes when it hits the toll booth, and that battery is splashed. And nickel, cadmium, and lithium, and everything goes everywhere. We're going to shut down the road and have a hazmat team come out?
Yeah,
it's silly.
The way they've been shutting down interstates for accidents lately, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think they care anymore. Do you remember it? I don't know how it is in Florida now, but I remember back in the day, not even back in the day, back 10 years ago, they would actually work hard and fast to clear an interstate to get it back open. Now it's like, what are all these? It's like they really started getting paid by the hour because they're just out there, man. It's ridiculous.
And they also a lot of times have to conduct an investigation. So they bring out the investigative folks.
Yeah, let's find out why your self-driving car crashed into a tractor trailer and all the batteries blew up and then burned. Richard Hughes says they only burn / reignite for 5 days.
No, that's just 5 days.
And then it rains and it goes down in the gully and it runs down to the thing and it goes and then they have to shut down the whole area to clean the runoff. It's like.
Do you guys watch the Grand Tour? The guys that used to be Top Gear? Yeah. So there's one of the episodes, because these are like the new stuff through Amazon. It's on Amazon Prime if anyone has Amazon Prime. So the new stuff, they drove a Rimac, which is a electric supercar from Croatia.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty badass looking and all that kind of stuff. So Richard Hammond, who's I love the Top Gear guys. Okay, Jeremy Clarkson, Richard Hammond, James May,
the hamster.
The hamster. These are my favorite dudes. So Richard Hammond, who we all know crashes vehicles, was driving this Rimac. And I forgot what country was it? Was it like it was Sweden? One of these places where they banned people from racing because some bad stuff happened in another country, not even the country, in another country next door or something. Someone died racing. So this country banned it. And so they figured a way around this. And he was racing this car, flipped it over, right? And it kept going on fire. I think he broke his leg or something.
Burned. Yeah.
Yeah, they pulled him out. It kept burning and all that. And this is where we're going. I know that I agree with you that it's stupid and ridiculous, but these companies have decided that they're going in this direction, man. And this is pretty much what we have to look forward to. And they got the government funding already from the previous administration.
Yeah, I don't have anything against electric cars. They have their place, but they're not for everybody.
Yeah.
And can you see some brother down in the hood with his electric car plugged in at night? They're gonna steal the copper wire. They're gonna cut the cord and steal the copper wire. Or they'll
listen. In the hood, if you're really hood, you just hook up your electric car to a lamp post.
Well, yeah. You've seen these third world countries where the power pole comes off and there's like 5,000 wires coming to one pole.
Yeah,
everybody's just stealing the electricity.
Yeah,
I mean, you're gonna have that when you're gonna have 3-phase 440. The hook. Blah, they'll have them. Yeah, I don't know.
I think the government is messing with what's happening here. I'm not against a lot of these things, but what I don't think is cool is that they put a lot of funding into it. There are certain things. I think electric motorcycles seem really interesting to me. I like the idea of that.
I don't have a problem with research. If the government wants to do research, but funding private companies to build stuff, no.
Yeah, and then look at what happened with internet. Right, you know how a lot of people talking. When did net neutrality die? Was it yesterday? Today? Okay, it was one of these days. Net neutrality died, and the whole world, the whole world was supposed to explode. But the thing is, if you look at, remember the government gave a lot of money to companies to put internet into rural areas. My phones have gotten worse. I don't know if you find huh?
So do you want to know what happens with that? Because I actually know. I looked into that. So basically, what happens is a company can buy, let's say Verizon and Frontier were up here in my area, right? So Verizon will buy something from whatever company. Let's say Verizon and Frontier, right? So Verizon buys this hunk of land up here, right? They buy let's say 6 counties around me worth of land. Now, part of that, they say, all right, we bought all this. They go to the government. They say, hey, we bought all this. We need to improve it. So the government says, okay, here's 100 billion or 100 million in credits. Verizon says, awesome, thank you. And government says, but you got to get this done in the next 15 years. Verizon says, sure, no problem. So what they do is they take that money, they spend it all. Because if they don't spend it, they don't get kind of reimbursed however it works. But they spend it all in this small region where they can get the most benefit from it. So pretty densely populated suburbs, right? They ignore the rest. They ignore the absolute rest of the area for 14 and a half years. Then they take that area, they find one other little piece with it, and they sell it to a competitor that lives right on the edge of that's on the other edge, right? They sell it to a competitor at 14 and a half years. Well, guess what? Now that company goes to government and says, oh, we acquired all this rural land, right? Now Verizon doesn't have to do any of the other upgrades because guess what?
They passed it on.
They don't own it anymore. And they're bouncing this crap back and forth. So guys like you and I are hosed. We're out here. I mean, still the fastest speed I can get from the phone company out here is 2 megs. It's dial-up. It's DSL. That's it.
Yeah,
And luckily I have other internet options here. But yeah, phone-wise, it's ridiculous. FiOS,
Yeah. This is how things. Go ahead, Walter.
When I checked my speed when we were getting started here today, I had a download speed of 25 megs and upload speed of 11. So is that good, bad? I don't know.
You got say that again. What you get?
I had 25 megabyte download and 11 upload.
Okay, that's what you have now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. It's you know it's the beginning.
I've got 15 down and 5 up. Whereas people who are a few miles west of me, who actually live in like a suburbs, who are close to other suburbs, are getting 900 down.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But none of that comes out here because there's no infrastructure. It's not just phone company. I don't want to just point out the phone company. It's also Comcast and all the rest. They just they don't care. They don't care.
At home we have AT&T DSL and we've got 5 up. That's what we're getting. 5.
Okay.
And I think the down is maybe 10. We don't even get that. It's about 5 and 5, whatever. It's horrible. And here I think I'm supposed to be getting. In this thing, I'm supposed to be getting 100 download and 20 up, something like that. So, you know, listen, this is going to be a disaster going forward because these companies are serious. They're laying out these plans of switching over like to hybrids or completely electric, no more diesels. Diesels are going away, all this kind of stuff. I think we're all getting to that point where whatever car you really like, there's already a lot of electronics in cars, and you know, I'm not saying I'm against that because personally I like the gadgets and stuff. But you might want to think about what you like and get on board right now because in the next 10 years, man, when these companies stop making this stuff here in America, it's going to get a little crazy, and you're going to see values and all that kind of stuff on used vehicles go through the roof. So I'm just telling you because they're really serious about it. If you look at FCA. They've laid out a plan that everything's going to be electric in 5 years.
Yeah.
They're not going to manufacture anything else. And they're not the only ones. And the companies that are, you know, Ford came out and said they're not making sedans anymore. And they're doing this thing. And a lot of companies, you know, it used to be V12s, then they went down to V10s, and then the V8. And now Ford, for example, doesn't do that. You get a V6 with turbo on it, right? You know, so this kind of stuff is gonna keep happening. That's the direction that we're going in. So, yeah, be prepared if you plan on being here 10 years from now. You know, the used car thing might might be an appealing business to you. I don't know where you're gonna park all the cars though.
Start stockpiling them Suburbans.
Yeah. You know, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be really interesting when they try to force this on us when there's other alternatives of what they can do and how they could go about this, but they're intending on not doing it. And meanwhile, we're not going to build any more like nuclear power plants or anything like that. So let's see what else. There was some other news stuff that I saw going on.
Let's see here.
I see Intuit offers Gunsight Academy monetary compensation for QuickBooks termination. So that's all part of the defunding of the gun industry. That stuff's still going on.
Yeah.
You know, that's interesting. There's some other stuff. Let me see. Lola was sending me some news here. So let's see this.
Did you
what happens? Go ahead.
Did you see the thing on Fox News about one of Einstein's diaries that was translated?
Okay.
And his thoughts on certain races and such when he was younger.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. You should take a look at it.
Oh, where would I find this?
Well, the story's on Fox News on the front.
Mm-hmm.
But you probably have to delve into a little deeper to get all the details. But you know, he had thoughts on the Chinese and different other races and things that he observed when he was younger. I guess he's changed his tone a little bit when he got older, but it was interesting, you know, because he's very highly thought of as being, you know, a thinker.
Okay. I see a headline here: Einstein called racism a disease of white people.
Yeah, well, that was one of the things he said. Yeah.
That always makes me laugh.
Well, yeah, okay.
Yeah, people who believe that only white people are racist have never met anyone. I don't know what planet they're living on.
They've never been to Japan.
Yeah, I don't know what planet they're living on. Racism is a human thing. You know what? For that matter, animals are racist.
Yeah, it's, or would say prejudice.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's interesting. I saw that Prince George. Not that I give a crap about the royal people. I guess there was some problems because he was playing with a toy gun. Did you guys see that?
No, I didn't. But oh dear.
Oh, humanity.
Several photos of Prince George playing with a toy gun Sunday sparked a heated debate on social media. A 4-year-old future king of England, who gives a crap? England won't exist when he gets around.
They better start giving all those people guns.
He might be an imam or something. I don't know. But he won't be. There won't be kings of England back then. They may, he might be the Shah of England.
I guess.
He was enjoying some playtime alongside his sister, Princess Charlotte, and friends when he was snap playing with a plastic gun because he's a boy. Okay, I guess they're going to chop the nuts off already. His mother, Kate Middleton, appeared to be enjoying the downtime as they watched him play at the Maserati Royal Charity Polo Trophy of the Beaufort Polo Club. Oh, my God. This is, yeah. Many took to Twitter to criticize Will and Kate for allowing their son to play with a toy gun.
Who cares?
How could they allow their kid to be a kid?
That's right. And I want to know why the Royals didn't say, "Listen, you serfs, get back in line."
Yeah.
Serfs.
I can't. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I can't imagine. I mean, the whole thing about, I'm sure you guys saw this. I know you guys did, but the whole thing about the mayor of London talking about there's no reason for anyone to carry a knife ever.
Ever, yeah. It's
like no reason ever. How?
So you can't make sandwiches,
right? I mean, what if there's cheesecake?
What if I got to open the box?
Someone's throat.
Yeah. Am I supposed to spread peanut butter with a spoon?
Yeah. Well, yeah. How am I going to open my UPS?
In case anybody from England's watching.
Yeah, freedom, baby, freedom.
Oh, well.
This is the least of what we could do in America, just so you guys know.
Once again, just to refresh everybody's memory, I bought this at War and Peace in Kent, England, by the way.
Yeah, England called. They want that knife point to be.
Want that salute. Yeah.
I cannot believe a place like England where, how long ago was it? How many
they used to have an empire, an freaking empire. I mean, they were like,
and think about it. And we just celebrated again Normandy and Dunkirk and all that, right? So, well, not celebrated, but remembered. So, I mean, we were going over to England, giving them single shot 45s. Mass producing them, just stamping them out and giving them to them because they were expecting to be invaded by the Germans. And that was, not that long ago, in the grand scheme of things. How did they?
In our grandfather's time. My father was born in 1946, right after World War II.
In my dad's time, he's born in 1938, by the way.
Yeah. So, shameful.
Yeah, well. The world is very cyclic, so get ready. The cycle will come back around again for those folks. So.
Yeah.
Probably for us too, by the way.
Yeah. And so where was it? There was another thing that I saw.
Yes, the Liberator. Very good, Zero. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, the Liberator pistol. That was that 45 pistol I was mentioning. I could not remember the name of it for my life. Yeah, the Liberator.
I have the reproduction of that, by the way, Hank.
You do?
You do?
Yeah. The one that they made recently here it's a knockoff. So
do you have it there? Or?
I have it. Is it here or is it at the shop? I can't remember. It might be at the shop, but yeah, I bought one when they were available. Yeah. So it looks just like the original. It was packaged in the same packaging, same instructions, which is just a little sheet of paper.
With How many of these did we send to England?
We made. Well, they were going to drop them to the partisans and stuff also. That was the idea also.
Yeah, France too behind them. Yeah.
Right, but they never actually did. So most of them were destroyed. So the originals are kind of pricey. If you can find one, they'll go for $3 or $4 grand or something, I think. But yeah, it's 45 ACP and it's a handful. But
okay.
But the whole idea was, you boom, you shoot the German, take his gun, and then you go about your business. So.
Yeah. This is another place that I don't think is long for this world. You will see that places like England and all that, they'll go down the drain really fast.
Well, Europe is about right on the verge of an uprising. So
yeah, they're all worried about what happens in North Korea. I don't give a shit what happens. Like, there's people like, oh, this is all smoke and mirrors with Trump or whatever in North Korea. And I get it. I don't even care. Like, we're not in a position, if North Korea really wants to start trouble, you want to start some, it'll be there. But England is not even thinking that they are about to go down the drain big time, man. I don't think they could see it. I think they think we're just making it up.
Yeah.
You're gonna wake up one morning, and it's happened before in England, but if they just keep declawing themselves and defanging themselves, you're gonna wake up a year from now, 6 months from now, 2 years from now, and that place is gonna be in full on Armageddon mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
and they're gonna be screaming for help again.
Yeah, and I just think that they just don't see it
assuming their leaders aren't complicit.
Yeah. Maybe that's what they want. I get it. So did you guys see this in the news? Freedom Munitions files for bankruptcy?
Yeah, I did see that.
I heard that.
Yeah. Despite the monthly reports of record gun sales, the firearm industry remains in trouble. I keep telling you guys, Remington just got out of bankruptcy, for example. We've written a lot about federal premium ammunition struggles as well. There are definite problems. And now another company is declaring bankruptcy. Freedom Munitions is filing for Chapter 11. It's filing for bankruptcy along with other related brands, including Howell Machine, Extreme Bullets. The brands are owned by Howell Munitions and Technology. All four entities are filing in Reno, Nevada. That's probably where they're. Chapter 11 allows companies to reorganize their structure and debt. The Freedom Munitions website is still up and running where they sell guns. So, I think just like Remington, they probably sort this out and be
was Freedom Munitions around before Obama?
Good question. Do you know, Joe?
I do not. The Howell Group was. I don't know about them. I really don't remember them before 5 or 6 years ago, honestly.
Well, they were there to make a killing, and when the killing is when there's no more rush on ammo every other week, then there's no money to be made. Because right now stuff is cheaper than it's ever been right now. So
yeah, I think this is one of the, I'm not going to read the whole article, but here's one part of it. It says, one potential cause is the company overexpanded during the ammunition shortage a few years back. During that time, some ammo was almost impossible to find, especially 22 long rifle, and a lot of companies expanded operations to meet the growing demand. However, demand soon returned to saner levels, leaving companies with a lot more overhead. That's how it goes. Buy low, sell high.
And the big companies have a lot more leeway in surviving the slow times than the little guy does. So when the little guy's over expanded, the big guy keeps selling his stuff and offering rebates like Federal was doing. I think it was Federal.
Federal had some fantastic rebates.
Oh yeah, that was great stuff. Yeah. So they can't compete. The little guys can't compete with that. So, I guess it's we're busy. I mean, we have plenty to do. So, I can't complain. I'm not saying that I don't have anything to do. I mean, or we're looking for business. We're still getting orders and we're still making new stuff, and that's what you got to be doing if you're going to survive.
And I think also you're kind of like in a niche market of.
Well, yeah. I mean, would I make an M4 AR-15? No. But will I make something cool to go with an AR-15 or something somebody else has done? Yes.
Yeah.
So, and then and 50 cals are still selling. I mean, it's not crazy, but we're still busy. We still have a backlog. So
yeah, I think a lot of companies don't realize that AR-15s are pretty easy to build. So it's not that people aren't buying lowers and things like that or not building.
Well, they're buying parts. Yeah,
exactly. They're buying parts. They're modifying what they have. They're playing around with it.
Right. Yeah. Because an AR-15 is basically a box of Legos. So, I mean, you don't have to be super skilled to put one together or know everything in the whole world. You just buy the parts and you snap them together, and most 9 times out of 10,
yeah, it works.
It works, yeah.
What were you going to say, Joe? Looks like you were going to say something.
I was, but I mean, I don't know exactly. So I see people ask questions all the time, and you don't have to answer if you don't want to, Walter. But
okay.
Can someone, if they want to buy an upper from you, can they send you like a money order and you send it to them? Do you keep records of that on hand, or?
I don't have to. It's just
they can walk into the shop and
you can walk in and hand me 20 grand, and if I've got 20 grand worth of uppers, you're going to leave with 20 grand worth of uppers.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have to keep any records of it. Besides, I'm supposed to do like sales tax and stuff.
Yeah, it's not a firearm,
but it's not part. It's not. Yeah, it's nothing serial numbered. So
yeah. I have people ask that question just because they're horrible boat owners and they go out on boats and then things get lost and then they don't want yeah.
Right. I mean, as long as it doesn't have a serial number on it, I mean, it's just like an AR upper,
Yeah, it's just like any other upper.
Right. So yeah, as long as you don't export it illegally or do something like that,
Oh yeah.
But I can't stop that. So.
No.
Yeah, a lot of I think this is one of, and I mean, this none of this is good news, I don't think, but I think a lot of what's happening here is that companies their whole business plan is these massive up and down movements, and not really the down movements either. They're not planning for the down movements. Their business plan is just these massive spikes in up movements of people buying guns in a panic. And I know that sales are increasing. I get that. But these guys went out and built a lot of crap. I mean, how many? I still go. The last time we went to the SHOT Show or NRA, everyone's still making an AR.
Well, but this, yeah. And stuff is as cheap as it's ever been. I mean,
how many ways could you slice or dice an AR? And you're gonna do that instead of. I'm not saying you can change it. Everyone wants something different. There's people who want to. Okay, I want this thing to be side charging. I want this. I want that. That's where you need to go. That's what you need to think about. But
right. You got to make. You got the receiver with a skull in the front. You got the receiver with your unicorn on it, and all that kind of stuff, all the little different things that make it not a regular old AR-15. So,
yeah.
But there are still people looking for the deal, like Palmetto State constantly. I get emails constantly all day long from Palmetto State with deals and specials and
it's not. Did you see the latest one of the latest things? And I think you shared it too on your thing, Hank. What was it? And you can go to Hank's Facebook page and check out the link. Scroll back there. It's like $439 delivered for one of their ARs with all the Magpul furniture on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, you can't. I just want to buy another AR just because it's $140 delivered. I mean,
yeah. Do I need this $430 or anything else? No. Let me get.
No,
it's that cheap.
I mean, I got one the other day. It was a complete upper. It was a short one. It was 223, I think it was, 10-inch barrel or a 9-inch, but whatever it was, a short little everything for like 224. And I'm like, holy crap, I mean, that's like all I gotta do is drop it on a lower with a brace or something, and you got a cool setup if you like that kind of thing. And it's like,
By the way, just so you guys know, most of the stuff I do post stuff on Facebook, but so does Lola, so does Lawrence. So that's the team. We got a team posting the stuff. We're always posting deals.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's cool. I mean,
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, unless you're going to do something different or work on a very low profit margin, which Palmetto does, that's why they have to keep moving stuff. It's a tough world with the AR-15.
Yeah, mostly. So a lot of the gun sales, I wouldn't be surprised to find that most of these are handgun sales. When I talk to gun stores, handguns are selling. It's a great thing. People, that's the entry level for people. Guns are the gateway drug to freedom. But people don't go out there unless you have these massive spikes and buy every AR-15 that exists. They're going and they're buying a handgun.
The average guy doesn't have more than one or two, if he's lucky. Because first thing, a lot of them can't afford it, but after you get couple AR-15s, and I mean, how many well, we'll say this. That's not a good thing to say. How many do you need?
Never have enough, Walter.
No, I know, but I mean, you know, you get into things like storage issues and where you put everything. But I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm jaded with AR-15. You know, I just, unless it's something really unique, I'm like, okay, here's another one.
Yeah, and that's what I think people need to do. They need to look for alternatives. There are alternatives out there. You've got some polymer options.
You know. All the calibers, all the different.
Yeah, I was just looking at the ATI, not ATI Outdoors that sponsors the channel, but American Tactical Imports. They have that 410 shotgun.
That's popular. Now, I mean,
Big Daddy Guns, I think, has one in the store right now.
Not to down talk it, but 410 is not cheap though to shoot. When you just go out and boom, 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 it's, you know, I don't call it. I went to Walmart the other day and a box of 410 was like 11 bucks, and that wasn't like a big, huge box. That was just a little, you know. I was like thinking, man, you know, if you're just going to go out and have fun and like we like to do, it could get kind of pricey.
True. That's true. You know? 22 is the best thing to shoot in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
22, baby. Make more 22s.
Oh yeah,
more 22 guns, more 22 guns. But there's so many alternatives. Look at the magnesium. There's the magnesium uppers and lowers.
There is
cool things that are floating around up there. You've got sensors out there. I see you know, people talking about that. There's so many options.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to sound like I don't like the AR-15. I like the AR-15, but yeah, there is. I mean, you know, the more you think, the more you can do. You know, you can. And anybody can do it. That's the nice thing about AR-15. Anybody with reasonable mechanical ability can build an AR-15. And if you can read or look on the interweb, that is nowadays.
You could do so many. You could do so many things with an AR, man. You can go AK unless you want an actual traditional AK. But there's lots of AKs out there. There's lots of different rifles out there.
Yeah, we were rocking 7.62 39 AR over the weekend, and that with a 10-inch barrel, and that thing will freaking get your attention when it goes off with a 10-inch barrel. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah. I see a lot of people commenting in the comments. Well, not a lot, but there's several people who are saying they don't have an AR. And my advice to you there would be, if you don't have one, well, you should have one just because. But if you don't have one and you don't either want to invest the money or anything else into it right now, just buy yourself a lower or two. Somebody posted that Primary Arms had Anderson lowers for 30 bucks. Palmetto State just had them for $39 delivered. They might still have them on that sale. I don't know. If they don't, they will for Father's Day weekend next weekend.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the's all kinds of Father's Day specials.
Yeah. So, you know, for $40-ish delivered, maybe $50 tops.
Get a part here, get a part there. Get
your serialized lower and hold a couple of them, throw them in the safe, hold on to them, and then when you find something you want, go ahead and go for it that way. That's my suggestion.
Yeah, you can put one together really cheap if you shop around.
Yeah, and you can get good quality parts in it.
Yeah, that's not crap, because I got news for you. Most of the parts are all made by a few people, so it's not.
It's true. I mean, there's only what are there, Walter? There's only like actually 4 companies who are making most of the AR lowers out there, or 3.
Or so the legend goes. Or so
the forging come from a couple places, 3 places, and then they go out to be machined. So yeah, I mean, and unless you get into things like the magnesium lowers, that's a whole nother process.
Sure. Yeah. And you have so many options. There's 80% ones. Polymer 80 has some of them coming out. The aforementioned American Tactical's got a polymer.
I've seen whole polymer lowers with a stock for like $99 or something. From like you know, they're the ones. I forget that brand name. There's a couple different brand names, but all the parts are unique to that brand. But they're dirt cheap. I mean, you know, if you just want a gun to go out and play with,
yeah, you've got a lot of options. But I totally 100%, 1,000% agree with Joe. Just get a friggin' lower, get several. That's really the thing to do. If you have that money, get the lower, and then maybe when you have a couple of them, go, oh, you know what? I'll get a trigger, or I'll get a pistol grip. I'll do this thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you get the email, sometimes a lower groups go a standard lower group for $30.
Yeah,
you know, then put it together and then wait till you see that other deal for that stock you've been jonesing for. And then you know.
And if you follow us, if you go to hankstrange.tv, we're always giving away stuff. That's an easy. There's lots of people out there that go and you know, they to be honest with you, they enter things, oh, win this thing and that thing. You know, in a certain amount of time, you might win some parts. You might buy some parts here or there, get some sales, put a gun together. And you can, even though we're saying like, what was it, $430, Joe? Complete rifle?
Yeah, it's like complete rifle 430. They had a deal on there for you posted. I think you also posted it right when I did too. For it was everything but the lower, so you could you know pick up any lower for 30 or 40 bucks. Everything but the lower, including a Vortex optic for under 400. I think it was like 350, right?
Yeah, it was somewhere.
Well, and by you I mean on Hank Strange Facebook page, you know, whoever posted it. But I mean, I you know, and I posted that one too. I'm like, my God, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. The deals that Palmetto do with the Vortex things and magazines.
Oh yeah, it's just
that's how I got my sights. I bought those and you got 10 mags basically for free.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know,
Now, you know what I realized? I think we were supposed to be giving away something today, weren't we?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, we're supposed to be giving away that 1022 kit from yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So you know what? I will push that off till tomorrow.
One of the comments on the chat from Bricks is why is it difficult for someone to produce AK mags of good quality with metal feed lips? Imports are outrageous. I mean, the Magpul AK mag, the one with the metal, is a pretty good magazine, from what I understand. Myself,
it's not bad.
Yeah, from myself,
sorry, Walter.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say I like Magpul. Magpul is, they do what they do when it comes to the sizes that they do, if that makes sense. So basically, Magpul has certain dimensions. They will size something for one thing in particular, and that's it. So you will find Magpul AK mags that won't fit in everything.
Okay.
Right. And that's a big problem with that. Very recently, Ames Surplus had surplus 30-round AK mags for like $12-13 within the past week. I don't even know if the sale's still active.
Right.
But so they're still out there. If you're willing to wait and look around, those deals are still out there. So I mean, believe me, I feel you. The only thing I use polymer mags in is my CMMG Mutant, the polymer AK mags. I'll use metal ones in it too, but all my other AKs, I don't use them with those because they're either too tight when they fit in, the bolt when it hits isn't lining up right. I mean, there's so many variances in AKs that Magpul is just, I don't know. If I have a preference, I'm going to go with a good old Eastern European steel AK mag and just forget about all the plastic. Yeah.
But,
those East German AK mags are going to work in every single AK you own, everyone.
The East German.
What are those going for? What are each of those, like $20-30 or something?
No, you get them for less than that. You got to shop around though. Yeah, I mean, if you get really East German, if you can find East German AK mags, and you'll know right away when you pick up an East German mag, when you touch it and feel it, it's not all like, oh, I'm going to get cut, because they took their time and they did a good job. But I don't think this is East German, this one here. But
all right,
everything though. That's the thing though. Like Joe's saying, I mean, you pick it up, put a Chinese gun, put a Romanian gun, put it in a Yugo gun, and it's going to work and fire reliably. So yeah.
So I don't know which Croatian mags Ames Surplus has in right now. I'm looking at them right now. It says new production.
Yeah, so, some of those Croatian ones I've heard people talk bad about. I don't know.
So I don't know how those are, but right now, if you buy 5 of them or more, they're $9.95 each. I can't speak to the Croatian ones though, because the new ones I haven't messed with them. To be quite honest with you, I got a box downstairs that is filled with AK mags when I was buying East Germans for, I don't know, I think they were $4, or you got 4 of them in a pouch with a cleaning kit for like $20 delivered. It was ridiculous. And I've got probably 40 or 50 East German mags now.
No, you're good to go. You can get into that business.
It was like $100 and I wound up like, it was ridiculous what it came to.
You could sell it. By the way, okay, so I'm just going to take a quick break. We've got maybe 10 minutes. I know we started late, so I'm going to go a little later. But one, everyone, don't forget to hit the thumbs ups. Okay, we appreciate that. And this is the post that we did where I'm giving away that Ruger 1022 kit. If you guys could see that, let me see. I don't know if I could get a good. I'm trying to find. Can you guys see that any good? I'm trying to. There we go. I'm trying to.
Right, yeah.
So there it goes. Yeah. So there's that post. This one. If you go on ATI Outdoors, if you go on their Instagram, the post is there. And I'm gonna give you guys till tomorrow. Go on their Instagram. I've got it on mine, but go on ATI Outdoors Instagram and comment on it. I see 2 people did that. So I'm gonna give it till tomorrow. If people really want to win this thing, go on there tomorrow. I'm going to come on and I'm going to go see who commented on ATI's repost of my original post, and I'll give it to someone tomorrow, so that, you know, that way I'm giving you guys who actually tune in here, who watch the show, you know, people who are commenting, I'm giving you a chance to get a cool kit. You can do a 22 build for the summer. I think I enjoy building 1022s, Walter, and we're going to do that. We're going to.
Yeah. Well, 1022 is another one. It's like a Lego kit. You can go all kinds of weird ass, do all kinds of stuff with a 1022.
Yeah, I built several of those things. It's fun.
Yeah. I mean,
so.
But yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm listening to you.
No, Joe was talking about Magpul. Magpul AR mags are my go-to mag now. I don't. If I'm doing AR-15 stuff, I always go to a Magpul mag as my first choice, because I just can't get them not to work. At least my opinion. Anyway.
Yeah, there's lots of people making AR mags. I don't know. Joe probably has an idea of someone else that works. I've found that everyone's trying to get into that space. Not everyone necessarily is kicking ass, but I think there are some options, right, Joe?
Yeah, there are. Real quick, Neko Gunner commented that Zavastra mags from Serbia are better than the Croatians. Yeah. Those are good mags.
Plus, they're hold open too.
Yeah, they are. He said the Croatian mags are a copy of those, so I don't know how good of a copy those are. Like I said, but yeah, AR mags, you know. So again, Magpul makes mags they made mags originally, the Gen 1, for a standard AR, right? So now there's Scars and you know, all these other different rifles that take it, right? And now you have different calibers, different bullet lengths, 300 blackout, all this different stuff. So they wound up making the MOE 2s. There's the Gen 3s. They have the 300 blackout ones. The magazines that I've honestly had the best luck with, and that I always make sure I have in my bag, no matter what I'm taking with me, are hex mags, because they will work in any 5.56 300 blackout setup I have. Doesn't matter whether it's polymer, the Tavors, the ACR, a Scar, the ARX 100, anything. It works in them. I can shoot 300 blackout out of them, be it the Gen 1 or Gen 2s. They're good to go. I've been running a lot of Mission First tactical magazines lately as well. Now, I haven't put any 300 blackout through them or anything else, but they seem to work in all my stuff too. I still like Magpul. I still have a ton of Magpuls, and I like them. But, you know,
do you have problems when you switch the different calibers and stuff like that with Magpul? Do you have those issues? With
Magpul, yeah. So Magpul finally acknowledged that their magazines for 300 blackout would not always work because of different bullet lengths and the other stuff. So they came out with a 300 blackout magazine now. I don't know if you guys saw that. I would think you both did.
I have.
So now they have yet another AR magazine, but this one for 300 blackout.
Okay.
I mean, that's just basically, if I want to run Magpuls, I have to have at least 2, if not 3 of the 4 generations to run in all my ARs, in all my 5.56 300 blackouts. Or I could just have 1 hex mag.
I have
3 different Magpuls, right? So, I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. I still like Magpuls. They are great magazines. You can beat the hell out of them. But for day-to-day use, I always make sure I have hex mag and Mission First. Somebody also commented they love their Mission First minimalist stocks. I think Mission First knocked it out of the park. Magpul's like one of those companies where they innovated and they came forward, but then they just kind of stood still. And they've been stuck on small incrementalism rather than going back to the drawing board and starting from scratch and correcting all the problems at once. it's like for my day job, I do some different consulting, and one of the companies that I work for, on their side, they do engineering stuff. And when you tell them to fix something, they will fix that one, but they completely ignore the fact that there are a million other diameters that change that you need to keep in mind, right? And they won't even start to look at one of them until there's an issue. And they'll be like, oh yeah, well, that changed, now we have to do this. Well, I told you initially to think about that. Even though I'm not an engineer, it does not fall in any of my purview. It's just common sense makes you think of that. And I don't understand why Magpul isn't being more forward thinking on that. I think they got too many fingers and too many pies, and they've lost track of their core business.
Yeah, I think their business is selling, they want to get into the fashion industry. They
just stop making crappy clothes.
Yeah, they're hipsters. That's what's going on. They want to be in that industry. Go ahead, Walter.
I haven't had problems with Magpul mags between different guns. I don't know. Maybe I don't shoot enough different guns to really notice. But
yeah, I haven't either. I mean, and we shoot 300 blackout, and
most of the time when I'm using, a lot of times, well, machine gun, I haven't had any problems at all.
Hank, do you shoot a lot of subsonic though? Because if you're shooting supersonic 300 blackout, most part you shouldn't have an issue. The big thing for me comes up with is the subsonics, where you're shooting like 200, 220 grain.
Okay, I do a mix. I haven't really.
Is that from the shape of the rounds or the length of the rounds? Is that
no? It's the length of the projectile. So the 200, like the 220 grain especially, is further. It's a little longer the front of the nose, so it rubs on the front of that Magpul magazine and they come up to the top.
Okay, so feeding up, you have issues. Okay. Yeah. Maybe we need to do more testing with that. Okay, a couple of things that I want to do before we go here. I see Comcast is now offering $65 billion for Fox. You guys see that?
No, I didn't.
Says government won't stop merger. So Comcast made a $65 billion offer to buy major portions of 21st Century Fox, setting up a potential bidding war with Walt Disney Company. Disney already struck a $52 billion all-stock deal to buy the Fox properties. So that's going down.
Speaking of Disney, you see where they're selling the ABC News's building in New York City.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're making a move into smaller quarters because the property where their ABC's headquarters is big bucks for a building. They're going to knock it down and build condos, I guess.
Yeah,
build townhouses. So
yeah,
So I guess there's also talk that maybe Disney is about had it with ABC and the news business. So
yeah, and I think people like us and other folks out there aren't helping, which is awesome.
Oh, that's all right. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly. People, I think that they realize that they can run those a lot leaner.
Yeah.
And
they've went from telling you the news to telling you opinion.
Yeah.
And gossip. That's what they and fake news, as Trump calls it. So it just back in the old days, you turn the news on and you hear about the riots in Venezuela and Nicaragua and what's going on in Lebanon, and now you don't. Who knows?
I find Phil DeFranco more fair and balanced than a lot of those idiots. Right. So I mean.
Cyrus had a question going back to the the Magpul thing, and not necessarily talk just specifically about Magpul, but see a lot of guys that hate Magpul on YouTube. And I don't want anybody to misunderstand what I said. That I don't hate Magpul. It's just that Magpul was up here, right, and everybody else was down here,
right.
And now it's kind of, and not everybody, but I mean, Magpul is not really
cutting edge.
Yeah, cutting edge anymore. I mean, it's changed, right? It's like when Vortex first came out, they had a low price point, but nobody else was even near them for the quality for the price point, right?
Yeah.
And now here in 2018, there's a lot of companies that are just as aggressive with. Anyway, we won't get into that, but
well, I mean, go ahead.
I think one of the reasons why you see some folks on YouTube, and I can't speak for everybody or exactly what Cyrus was mentioning there, but at least for me and like some different guys like Tim from Military Arms Channel. When we get out there, like I shoot a lot. I shoot a lot of different guns. I shoot a lot of different types of ammo. I shoot a lot, and I try and use the hell out of the guns that I'm doing. We really, and Hank, I'm sure you're the same way. I mean, I don't beat on guns as hard as some people out there. At the same time, I use this stuff a lot, right? And I've seen the elevation over the past 20 years well, obviously I've been doing YouTube for 20 years, but I've been hardcore into the gun industry for 20 years. YouTube is something that's very, relatively still recent for me. But, I see the evolution, I see where things go, and I see the issues of some of the things that I have that aren't quite up to spec, right? So, you had like the Magpul stock and then it rattled, right? So then rather than take it back to the drawing board and fix it, right? They came out with the CTR, which, you clamp onto the stock a little bit, which helped, but still doesn't fix it completely, right? So it's that mindset a company gets into of just small tweaks rather than occasionally going back to the drawing board. And then you see other things like some of the Magpul stocks for the AKs. You don't even have to hit them hard and they'll crack. So, where they mount up to the rear. So it's things like that you see some of us get frustrated with, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, and by the way, shout out to Big Daddy Hoffman. I see he's in the chat. I hope he's getting better. Yes. You guys should send some condolence, well wishes to him that he gets better. Shout out to Big Daddy Hoffman there. What I was going to say is that, I think there's people tuning in trying to get like our opinion, maybe gauging how we think about things. Like I said, most of my magazines are actually Magpul AR magazines. So, and I've done some tests and things like that, and I found they work great. One of the things that happens though to companies is that some companies are honestly just a bunch of dicks. And I think that Magpul is one of those companies. There's companies out there that are really messed up when they deal with people and all that kind of stuff, and then they get kind of distracted, like we were saying earlier. Magpul's down this path now of becoming like a clothing company or getting into fashion, and the stuff that they're making honestly sucks. It doesn't seem like I walk through there all the time, and it seems like they're trying to push that stuff on people, and it's nothing that you would want to buy. They are developing things, they are putting things out there, but I think they're kind of a little bit lost. And that's the whole thing about competition. They're creating that space where people have a desire to look for alternatives because of sometimes the way that they're acting when they get disconnected, and then other companies come in and start trying to make things, and eventually they get better and they make better things. So, that's just the way that we look at it. I know right now, though, I would say that that's the majority of where my magazines are. But when, if I test, what's the ones that you use, Joe?
So
you're with the, what is it again?
So here's some Mission First Tactical ones. We've got Gen 1 PMags. We've got some of the newer Hex mags. Shout out to Faxon with their things for 300 blackout. Yeah. This is some older generation Hex mags. Shout out to Etched Ordnance for the engraving there. Everything. Even these are a prototype Hex mag there, but I can show them now because that was a thing. I hope. I don't know. That was like a while ago. But Troy Battle Mags, for example. I never opened this one because it's a thing. But I got so many magazines and go through so much stuff that I like to use the stuff that I find works in all my stuff, right? And it's not to be poo-pooing on any one different thing, right? But there are things that you like, things that you don't like, and I would much rather have a magazine that works in all my different stuff rather than have to wonder, all right, do I have the right gen Magpul?
Right. Well, like for the SIG MPX, you got first gen, second gen. It's like we were out shooting over the weekend, and the first gen gun was running fine. The second gen gun wasn't. And I'm like, I must have the wrong mag in it or something. I mean, so that's kind of a pain in the butt.
Yeah. So you know what? I think we're we've been here for like 2 hours. We should probably wrap it up.
I usually, one thing about magazines before we go, whenever I see, like I'm at Knob Creek or something, I'm walking around, I see a new magazine or a new surplus mag on the market, I always pick it up just to try it out. This is a Sentinel mag in 223. Basically, it's just a basic AR-15 magazine. It works. I've got Korean steel mags. I found they work. In
regular ARs, absolutely. In 5.56, 223, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think I've tried, and in the basement, I believe I have almost one of every single manufacturer I can think of, basically since Vietnam. I've even got the Dirty Sanchez downstairs, as I like to call it, one of the Sanchez mags, right?
Yeah.
So
Well,
Yeah,
and it's funny you mentioned that. My favorite magazine for an AR-15 is the 20-round aluminum follower GI mag.
Yeah, they work.
Yeah, cheap. You can get them. Here's what I would suggest on the whole mag issue. Since we're having this conversation, I'll try different things, and I think you should definitely do that when you're going out and you're sighting something in, or whatever it is you're doing, you're shooting recreationally. But I think I should bring this back to what people like Reed say when they come on: spend money training.
Yes,
everyone needs to do that. When you spend your money training, take a bunch of different magazines with you. That's your huge opportunity to put your magazines to the test, because you're probably, if you're going to do a rifle course or something, you're probably going to do 1,000 rounds. Great opportunity here to don't just take your brand new magazines with you. Take some new magazines, some Magpul, some this thing, some that thing, some GI mags. Try them all out in whatever gun you're seeing. You will find out, you will figure it out for yourself, and you will figure out what works for you.
Absolutely. And I don't know, maybe I've gone overboard lately, because people always ask whenever I do, whatever the new mag that takes AR rifle, or new rifle that takes AR mags comes out, I run through a dozen different mags for compatibility testing. And that's kind of how I came up and landed with where I'm at.
Yeah, if you look at it and I'm not trying, I know we're supposed to wrap this up, but here's the thing. I got into this thing with Caltech because I did that video on the RDB. And when I did the video, we put 500 rounds through the RDB that they sent me for testing. And when we went and we shot it suppressed. So we put 500 rounds through it suppressed. And when I went there, I took a bunch of different magazines. And what I discovered is that the gun suppressed does not like GI mags. Apparently it's, I don't think it's only that gun or that bullpup that when it's suppressed doesn't like GI mags, but that's how you discover this kind of stuff. And it's funny that maybe they didn't do the testing, but I noticed when they got mad and everything, and I looked at what Nut and Fancy did, either you had the same gun or a similar gun, and he had the same exact problem when it came to GI mags because of the pressures being suppressed, and then that pressure was going backwards. As the whole gun is designed to do, and the pressure was unseating the magazine, etc. This is how it is. It's mechanical things. You got to mess around with it to find out what's going on, and it's going to vary for everyone. So you should get out there and figure it out.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, let's wrap it up. What do you guys say to that?
Big Al says, "Where's Chuck Woolery?"
Who can't have Chuck Woolery every day? That's
Chuck Woolery all day, all the time.
That's just not going to happen. And by the way, I need to be doing more snippets and stuff like that of these shows, because there's lots of cool things that we all say in these shows. I'm working on that. I'm going to try to get some snippets out from Chuck Woolery. I'm going to try to, there's so much work that I've not been getting done lately. So I need to get back to that and get it done. We'll get those out. So Joe, man, what's going on with you? What do people need to do to check you out for the folks that are still hanging in there with us?
13cgunreviews.com. Sign up for the newsletter will be the best way to do it. You can also go to Facebook, our Facebook page, facebook.com/gunreviews, and sign up for the email list, just like you want to sign up for Hank's email list, because it's the best way to keep in contact with us. I mean, I won this most recent strike, but they have enough automated stuff that goes against us. We're going to, they could shut any of us down at any time. So that's one of the best things. Take a moment to subscribe. We really appreciate it. And if you want to get some cool stuff and support the channel, we have a swag shop, 13c.bigcartel.com. You can find all this at 13cgunreviews.com. But shameless plug for our patches and whatnot.
Go ahead, hold those up, man. I'll lock it in on you.
Come on, more shameless self-promotion. Come on,
get it up there. There you go.
Self-promotion. There we go.
There you go. Awesomeness, pure awesomeness.
The dude one, the normal one, alternate logo, fight soap. If you guys want to get clean and smell awesome, like a patriot slaying redcoats in the morning. Look at all that good stuff in there.
Yeah.
Apparently,
hopefully, is Fight Soap still in business? I hope so. I don't know.
I don't know that. Well, the stuff that I have here is coming from me, so it's what I bought to sell to you guys. So you will definitely get your orders shipped within a day or two from me directly, or my wife putting it in the package. Fight Soap. I don't know what I think there's some personal issues that are going on with them, and they're closed up shop for a while. I think they'll be back, but I'm not sure. Okay.
All right. And Walter, what do you have going on you'd like to share with the folks out there?
Oh, man. We're getting ready to start soon, real soon, some HK stocks for those people who've been waiting for them for the MP5K. Plus, I tell you about the thing with Zenith. Probably our stock's gonna end up on the gun going to Army trials.
That's awesome.
That'd be cool.
Yes, man.
Anyway, that'd be very cool.
And I think it's very appropriate too, because it's you know it's tough.
It works, and they like the way it works. So that's going on. What else is going on here? Just making the donuts, as I say every day in the shop. So trying to get caught up a little bit and stay ahead of things. That's my biggest problem. So
absolutely, man.
Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. Yep.
Yeah, keep up the good work. Walter has a lot of good stuff on social media. So does Joe. Big Daddy Hoffman says he's out of Facebook jail now. So we need to get him to come on, Lola. We got to just a friendly reminder. Okay. So yeah, as Joe said, I'd like to remind you guys to go check out hankstrange.tv. He's very right. That's how, we keep in touch with you guys. We're also giving away a bunch of stuff. We have all that going on. I will do that giveaway tomorrow. Go to ATI Outdoors on Instagram and comment on their repost of my post that I did, and I'll go through and check that out tomorrow and give that away to someone. Don't forget the whole title of this thing, 99 cents for the first 30 days on Big Daddy Unlimited. So you have no reason to not go there and check it out for 30 days and dig around and figure it out for yourself, whether or not you like it. I mean, they can't, they technically have to charge something. This is the minimal. This is the minimal so that you guys can have a chance to take a look at it. I think it's a good opportunity for you to go there, make up your mind. So check that out. Thanks to everyone. Yeah, there's a link in the description. Thanks for everyone for hanging out with us. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, subscribe to Hank Strange. Check out all the different stuff that we have going on. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll see you mañana. We're out of here.
Thanks, everybody.
Peace. Peace. Peace out to you. Good night.